Hello and welcome to the third episode of Top 10's on my channel. I am not actually doing top 10 Pokemon types or 18 Pokemon types because I think I'm going to do it as a top 18, might as well, because there's 18 types. But yeah, that's a different video, not today's video. Today's video is top 10 cards that are coming out in the new Ancient Origins set that I am hyped to use, which is going to be a lot shortened down for the thumbnail and video title. But that's basically the gist of what this is a top 10 of. There are 98 cards coming out tomorrow in the Ancient Origins sets. And these are the top 10 that I'm hyped to use. The best ones that I can find that I like. I've looked through most of them to see which ones to make this list, and these are the 10 I've chosen. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive straight into this. Number 10. Okay, so coming in at the number 10 spot today, we have the one of the new EX cards, which is the Machamp-EX card. This is probably one of my least favourite of the EXs. I was quite hyped for Lugia, but Lugia didn't make this list. Spoilers, Lugia didn't make the list. I was looking through, and there were some that weren't really that good, but there were some that were and some that were like too good to not be on this list. This was one of the ones, but that just kind of got lucky, I guess. But it is quite a good card. It can do 160. Technically, if you use its Streaming Mad attack, you will confuse yourself, giving yourself a special condition for Crazy Hammer. So that's always a bonus. The card art looks nice. The full art looks quite nice. I don't have a picture of the full art because I can only find the text in Japanese on the full art cards. I've actually managed to find English one to the rest, so some of the images might be a tad bit small, but oh well. So this is 37 of 98. Not sure why that's relevant, but I'm going to tell you anyway. 3 retreat costs, weak to Psychic, as most fighting types are. And yeah, there's not really much else to say about Machamp-EX, so I'm going to swiftly move on to my number 9 pick. Number 9. Okay, so in the number 9 spot today, we have one of the new stadium cards, Forest of Giant Plants, which is a stadium that works with grass types, and it works really well if you've got grass types that need evolving quick, because you can now evolve your grass types on the first turn that they are in play. It's a simple one. It's not. There are some better stadiums out there, but out of the two that are in this one and the last one, this one and I think the other one's called like Faded City or something, but that one is really bad. You can put 20 damage on Mega Evolutions each turn if you remember to do it, obviously, because it's optional. But yeah, that just seems a bit silly, really. But this one's quite useful. There are a lot of 3-stage grass Pokemon that can make use of this. Get a stage 2 out quickly. For example, Roaring Skies had what's his name? Executor and Execute. Obviously, Execute is booty. He's booty. But Executor is a really powerful card from Roaring Skies, so you'd want to get him into Executor as soon as you can. With this card, you can get him basically turn 1 if you get this card, Execute and Executor. Can't say his name at the moment, but you know who I mean. So that's all good. I'm going to move on to my number 8 pick now. Yeah. Number 8. Okay, so coming in at the number 8 spot on this list, we have one of the new supporter cards. Now, the two supporter cards that came out are the Hex Maniac card and the Ace Trainer card. The Hex Maniac card was kind of bad, but the Ace Trainer card which is the one on this list, by the way, is actually not that bad. It's a way of getting more cards than your opponent if you are behind in a game, and it can just be really useful. From what I can see, obviously, I mean, I've never actually had a chance to use it, of course, but you can shuffle your hand if you are behind on prizes. You can shuffle your hand and draw 6 cards, and your opponent does the same, but only draws 3. Obviously, it does waste your supporter for the turn, but I mean, 6 cards. It's better than Shauna. It's better than Professor Sycamore, because at least you're not discarding them, and it also affects your opponent. So it's like a better N, basically, because I mean, N, you draw as many prizes as you have. So if you have the same amount of prizes as your opponent, then your opponent draws the same amount of cards as you. You always draw 6, even if you have 2 prizes and they have 1. So good for late game advantage and early game advantage if you need it. I mean, there's a lot of use for this. Obviously, not until someone's drawn a prize, but this is a good card to pull back with, I think. So yeah, at number 8 is the Ace Trainer Supporter. Number 7. Okay, so at number 7 we have one of the new special energies. The 2 special energies released were for the Dark type and the Electric type. However, the one for the Electric type was kind of bad, because all it did was remove weakness. However, the Dangerous energy, which was the one released for the Dark types, gives the effect whenever the Dark Pokemon card this is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's EX, even if the Pokemon is knocked out, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. EXs are the main thing in competitive Pokemon TCG nowadays, and with the new Dark type cards in this set that are making Dark types super powerful, and with some of the old Dark types like Darkrai-EX, Yveltal-EX, Dark is just very viable these days. There are definitely some cards in Ancient Origins that could take effect with this one. But yeah, EXs are quite common, so that most of the time people do attacking with EXs for the most part, if they have them. Most competitive decks run them, and if you can have 4 of this on your active Pokemon at once, for every hit they do on you, they take 80 damage back. So, well, if you have 4 of them, of course, because that's as most you can run in a deck, and most you can put on a Pokemon at once is 4, because obviously you can't have more than that. So yeah, but definitely the more viable of the special energies. So yeah, that's why it's at the number 7 spot. Number 6. Okay, so at the number 6 spot is the only basic Pokemon that is non-EX on this list. So yeah, I know that's probably because EXs are probably better than basics, but this one was just too good to leave off the list, and it is the Ancient Trait Entei, 15 of 98, rare, all that good stuff. Has the new Theta Double ability, allowing it to have 2 Pokemon tools attached to it at any given time. Obviously, being Entei is a basic, has 130 HP, which is quite a lot. I know it's a legendary, but for a basic and not an EX, 130 HP, that's like higher than Victini-EX and Shaman-EX. So that's nothing to sneeze at. Also, you've got its attacks. Heat Tackle for 4 energies does 130. Possible recoil damage of 30 to yourself, but even with your HP like that, you could still take 4 lots of recoil damage and still be going. And Flame Screen reduces damage on this by 30 on the next turn, and does 30 to the opponent for 2 energies. Yeah, alright attack. The art's kind of cool. I do like the I don't know the technical name for these, but people call them big arts because they're not full arts technically, because they're not EXs. But it like covers the text. The text covers it a bit as well. It's cool. I like these cards. So yeah, Entei NumberSix. NumberFive. At the NumberFive spot today, we have our second EX, which is the water type Pokemon in the TCG at least, Kyurem-EX. Now, this is the second, if I'm not mistaken, Kyurem-EX, possibly third. I don't know if there was a promo one or not, or if the promo one was different from the one released back in the black and white set. But this is at least the second one. It's been a very long time since they released a new Kyurem-EX. They have released a few duplicate EXs now. I mean, they did Dialga-EX a while back again, so there's two of those. I'm not sure if the last Kyurem was Plasma or not, but this one definitely isn't, because there is no Plasma sets being released anymore. But it's just a really good card. The only picture I could find in English was the full art one, so you're blessed with the lovely full art design of the card, which looks amazing, by the way. 2 attacks, Glaciate does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, and Ice Caliber, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn, and it does 130. Has 180 HP and is weak to metal, because it is not really a water type. It is an ice type, so they couldn't make it weak to electric. It would have just made much more sense if they made it a dragon type, really, but ho hum, I'm not really complaining. This is the full art one, so it's not really 86 of 98 down the bottom there. I actually do have the documentation for this video, which actually says it is 25 of 98. So there you go, trivia fact for you. This is going to be the 25th Pokemon in order, if you're collecting the set, that you will have to pick up. Not this art, obviously. This will be in the 86 slot. Don't know why you really wanted to know that. You probably didn't, but you know anyway now. So yeah, I'm going to move on to number 4 now. Number 4. Okay, so number 4. Number 4 here we have Mega Sceptile-EX, with the new Theta Stop Ancient trait, which means that all abilities are nullified. Not including ancient traits, they don't count as abilities as far as I know. They are separate, but all abilities that your Pokemon have and your opponent's Pokemon have. No, just your opponent's abilities. Just your opponent's abilities are reduced to nil with this card. I didn't know that. That makes this card even better. For 2 energies, you can do 100 damage. That's lots. For example, there is a Slugma card. Slugma for comparison, but yeah, you know, Slugma card, which needs 3 energies to do 30. There is a Xerneas card, which needs 3 energies to do 100. This card needs 2 energies to do 100, and you can attach 2 grass energies from your hand to your bench Pokemon in any way you like when you use this attack. If you attach the energy, you can heal all the damage from them, which is awesome. This card is the 8th card in the set. I don't know why I'm talking in a weird voice now, but I'm just telling you that it's the 8th card in the set. It has 2 retreat costs, which is great for an EX. There are only a few examples that I can think of that are actually better than that, like Mega Gengar. I think he has like a 1 retreat cost possibly. And obviously he's weak to fire, but that's a given, he's a Sceptile. Didn't make him Dragon, that was a bit of a letdown. That would have been cool. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because now that he's not a dragon, he actually can hit things for super effective damage. So Mega Sceptile-EX is at the number 4 spot. Number 3. Okay, coming in at the number 3 spot is another duplicate from an older EX that has been redone, which is the Giratina-EX card. Giratina-EX is better than it looks at first glance, to be honest, because at first glance, 170, meh. That could get taken out in one hit by some stuff, especially fairies. Fairies having such powerful attacks in the TCG. Its ability is very useful. It shuts down pretty much any Mega Pokemon. It's a big counter to things like Mega Gengar, who can use your opponent's attacks against you because it's just like lock no. And generally just every Mega, because obviously it can't be hit by them. It's also a big counter to one of the other Pokemon in the Ancient Origin sets, which I will not reveal yet because it is on this list. Also, its attack for 4 energy can do 100, and it stops your opponent from playing Pokemon Tools, Special Energy, or Stadium cards from his or her hand next turn. You don't have to discard an energy for this, so you can do this every turn until Giratina dies. That is insanely good, because you could just shut them down from setting up bonds on their side of the field with Giratina. Giratina's viability with these two abilities means that they will have to end their turn if they try and Mega Evolve, if you Chaos Wheel, meaning they won't be able to play Tools, so they'll have to end their turn because they won't have Spirit Link to attach, because Pokemon Tools they can't play. Then, once they've got their Mega out, if their deck revolves around using a Mega, they won't even be able to hit Giratina. Giratina will just be sat there, laughing at them, with this amazing, amazing art that they've given him now. But yeah, only downside is he has 170 and not 180 HP. There are attacks that one-hit that, obviously, but, you know, you can just run like 4 of these, really, and then you're fine. Number 2! Coming in at the number 2 spot, another one I struggled to find an English print of for some reason, don't know why, but is the Mega Ampharaos-EX card. This is 28 of 98, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know why. Obviously the normal fighting weakness, steel resistance that electric normally have, 220 HP, not the highest that you can see on Megas these days, but still nothing to sneeze at. Extra Volt does a lot of damage, 120, plus you may do 50 damage and leave your opponent's Pokemon paralyzed. If you do, you can do 30 to yourself. With when you have 220 HP, doesn't really matter. 4 energies isn't that bad to do that amount of damage with. Thankfully, they made this Pokemon an electric type. That means it can hit some stuff for super effective damage, whereas if they made it a dragon type, they couldn't have, because nothing is weak to dragon. Not really much else to say about that. It's a good card. Yeah. I do like Mega Ampharaos, that's probably another reason why it ended up so high on this list, to be honest. And the art is very powerful. They do very well with the EX arts and the Mega arts. Still a bit confused why they had jelly beans on the Gengar one, but who knows? Maybe they're into it. Maybe Gengar likes jelly beans. But anyway, number 2 is Mega Ampharaos-EX. Number 1. Okay, so coming in at the number 1 spot on this list is none other than Mega Tyranitar-EX. And if you guys had any doubts to whether this would or would not be on this list, you were fools, because this card is too good. It is basically broken, because it can, I'm pretty sure I've worked it out that it can 2-hit KO any card in the game, which is ridiculous. It can do 110 for 4 energy, and then an additional 60 for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you hit it for 110 on the first turn, following turn you'll be hitting it for 770. Over the course of 2 turns, you have just successfully delivered 880 damage to your Pokemon, which is a big deal considering that the highest HP Pokemon that is legal is, I think, Wailord-EX with 250. Good luck living that. And to make things better, this Pokemon may have up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to this card because it has Theta Double. So, you could potentially run 2 Muscle Bands on it, or Dark Claw and Muscle Bands, so that you can run more Muscle Bands and more Dark Claws, or potentially 2 Dark Claws, depends what takes your fancy at the time. You might also probably end up having the Spirit Link on here, so that you can Mega Evolve it quicker, but that doesn't matter, you can just shove another one on as well, so at least it will be doing 130 instead of 110, and then it will be delivering even more damage. I did add that into my calculations when I was working out how much damage that would do, but I really don't think it would matter because it's dead. Everything's dead. Basically, there's nothing's going to survive. This card is so good. I'm going to make a deck with this card, and it's going to annihilate everything, even things resistant to dark. Because 90 times 2, because the maximum resistance on a card is 20. So 90. Add another 90 for a second attack would be 180. That kills any EX, basic EX pretty much. And then obviously the multiplier on the second turn. So that would be 90 times 60. But I can't be bothered to work that out, but that's a lot. There's nothing that's going to live. Mega Tyranitar-EX is too good, basically. The only card that I can think of that even compares is obviously Mega Gengar. Partly because I love Mega Gengar as a card, partly because Mega Gengar is just going to come up and just go lol 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 and steal the attack, and then just wreck you with it, because he can do that. He's Mega Gengar. He doesn't care. Oh, and the 60 additional damage, it doesn't say up to apply weakness or resistance, so you depends. It doesn't say not to apply weakness or resistance. So potentially, depending on how they rule it, because I don't want to jump to conclusions, they could rule it so that on psychic types who are weak to dark, it's doing an additional 80 damage, which would just be insane. But you know. Yeah, so number 1, Mega Tyranitar-EX, who won this by a landslide. Okay, and with that, that pretty much wraps up today's list of my top 10 most anticipated cards in the Ancient Origins set. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to leave a comment telling me what you think is going to become the biggest on the competitive scene from the new sets. Although I doubt it's going to be different from my choice, for seeing how good it is after I explained that it could do 880 in the matter of 2 turns, which one-shots any Pokemon. Well, 2 shots technically, any Pokemon. But yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you agree, or just leave a like if you enjoyed. Drop a subscribe to see if you catch new videos that I post. I post TCG, Sonic Adventure, all that good stuff. If you enjoy top 10s, I have some previous top 10s, and I'll probably be doing some more in the future. Eventually I will get around to doing my top 18 favourite types, planning to do that in 2 weeks' time, as next week I will have an Ancient Origins pack opening for you. Isn't that exciting? I'm actually going to snag some cards tomorrow and film it, and then have to keep quiet until next Tuesday about what I get. But oh well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye.